So, the last Versus series was a major success, I feel like. A lot of people liked it. So, today we're going to take a look at what you wanted to see next, which is a non-Shadow team with the same Pokemon as Shadow. So, again, this is a series that I kind of want to have as well as like a bit of a community thing here. I want to know what you would like to see next. For especially the next week, of course, where we're going to have the Master League available, as well as I think the Holiday Cup. If there's something that you can think of that you want to have for the Versus series, then please let me know down below in the comment section. Would really appreciate it. And of course, if you enjoy the series, the best thing to support this and just thing to show it is just to leave a like on the video. That would be really nice for me. But let's take a look here at what we have. We're going to start off with the Shadow team here. We're going to have the Shadow Warray, we're going to have the Shadow Annihilate, and we're going to have the Shadow Dusknoir. I needed to find basically Pokemon as well that I had in both versions. I actually had to build 2 Pokemon, I think, for this. Oh, I had to build 1 Pokemon. I had to change some movesets for another Pokemon. I had to build a new Warray as a non-Shadow. I didn't have a non-Shadowed Warray yet for the Ultra League. And so I had to invest a little bit of Stardust, had to invest a little bit of the charged TMs as well, which is, to be fair, quite rare for me right now. I don't have a lot of charged TMs at the current time. But they're going to be most of the time, so I'm going to be able to go to like tournaments or whatever again, and then I can get some of those TMs. If you didn't know, by the way, for the Play Pokemon tournaments, and those the stops give you charge TMs and fast TMs from just spinning them, which is kind of cool. Which is kind of, if you have like a regional near you, it's even nice to just be there as a spectator. It's honestly so much fun, but also so much fun could be this team, where we're going to have the Icicle Spear hitting against the Empoleon. They cannot farm us down in time, and we can win the first battle as a Shadow team. So, now we're going to take a look at the non-Shadow team. We're going to be able to swap out of here into the Annihilate against the Scissor. We are going to have a very bad lead here though. Like, we have no chance against the Scissor with our lead. Our backline is alright, it's quite neutral, it's not that great either. And we're going to have another answer to basically the rest of our entire team here. With the Ampharos coming in here, Ampharos has access to Volt Switch and Grass moves. It has, I think, does it have Grass? I don't know. It has definitely Trailblaze. Basically, you're going to have coverage with that against our Water Pokemon in the lead. And it has Brutal Swing against our Ghost-type Pokemon in the back. And that makes it all a little bit more awkward. And with that, we are going to be a bit in a tough position. I kind of would need to let this move go. It is going to be luckily the Brutal Swing and not the Grass-type move. And now I can swap back into my Dusknoir, and we're gonna get Hardwalled here with a Guzzlord. There's a thing here as well. Even if we're gonna compare basically those 2 teams together and see what's the difference, which one is going to be better, you're always, of course, going to have RNG in terms of what you're going to come up against. You will never be able to say directly which one is better unless like the difference between them is so immense that, yeah, it's quite obvious or whatever. Here in this case, of course, we just had a very tough matchup. We just never really caught a break there. I still should have maybe went for the Dynamic Punch here, but I'm not sure that was most likely not help me either. I tried my best still, but the Scissors here, I'm gonna go for the bait, hoping that they would maybe shield this one still. I know I wasn't at the Earthquake yet, but I had to do kind of something here, and the opponent didn't shield. So even if they would have shielded, I don't think I had a chance of winning this one. I was hoping they go for the Night Slash, which they do, but I can barely not farm them down. And honestly, it went way closer than I expected for getting completely destroyed there. Yeah, so like, real hard count, and we still came close. We didn't win, so like currently the Shadow team is a 1-up, which is going to be a bit awkward, but it's fine. We're going to have the Icicle Spear coming in. By the way, what I actually thought of doing as well is going for Shadow against Purified. But there are not a lot of good Purified Pokemon that are usable, or like I would need to build like a normal Pokemon then that wouldn't be using, you know, like Return or something like this. Like for Return Pokemon, you have in the Great League, for example, Diggersby as well as the Sableye, which could be an interesting one. But that is kind of it, I think. So yeah. Yep, we're going to kind of get Hardwalled as well, so I guess that's kind of fair. Compared to the last battle for the non-Shadow team. The Shadow team also has a very tough time here. We have the Dusknoir against us, but maybe we put them down to 1 Astonish range. This would be absolutely huge. We get the Astonish off. Of course, I'm going to use a shield, hoping that I'm going to be able to just knock them out here with another fast move, but I can't. They still got to another move with like 2 HP left here. This is going to be quite impactful for the game. As you see here, the Shadow Punch is going to connect. We're going to have the Scissor coming in, and we're going to be able to now go ahead and go for a Shadow Punch, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing at all. We are going to be able to get some damage off, but we have the Scissor again against us, and Scissor is just a bit tough for this team sometimes, especially if we face it in the lead, because we don't have a Fire type, and that's the only real weakness of Scissor. So still 1-0, 2 losses so far actually with this team. I do think this team actually looks quite solid on paper though. I think it's a good team on paper generally. You're going to have here the safe up of Annihilate. Having Ice Punch is going to allow you to beat both like the answers, like the Pokemon you don't really want to face with the Elite, as well as you're going to have coverage that the Elite has, which I kind of wanted to have here to hit, for example, something like a Togekiss for some super effective damage. But in reality, we are getting hard-walled here quite often, which happens here yet again. I've never really... I feel like Walrein, even though Walrein got buffed, which is a Pokemon that I wanted to showcase anyway, it feels like that, yeah, I feel like it's not that great in terms of the matchups in the current meta. I feel like people adjusted, though, towards it. I don't think it's like Walrein itself, which is a bad Pokemon. I think just that people were like, yeah, okay, this Pokemon... Like, there are a lot of good answers towards it. Like, there are a lot of types that are going to be super effective against it. And we're going to see it here again. Ampharos against this team. We kind of are, we are just very much unlucky with those two teams so far in terms of what we're going to encounter. Because we had literally the two core breakers kind of for this team, which is Ampharos out of all Pokemon, as well as Scizor in, I think, nearly every single game so far. And that is just going to be a bit more tougher for us to deal with. And in comes, Empoleon. We just don't have any health left anymore. And with that, we are going to lose yet another game here. So, yeah, so far, a bit awkward. But trust me, it's going to change a little bit. So, we have here Clefable in the lead. That is neutral. But actually, as a Shadow version here, I actually don't really mind that. I think it's actually kind of not a bad matchup for us at all. And so, let's take a look here. We're going to be able to do some solid damage. And we can use a shield if I wanted to, just in case it's a Shadow Ball. It's Moonblast, I mean, it doesn't learn Shadow Ball, of course, if it's a Moonblast. But as we all see as well, the opponent stops it into the Jellicent, which is not too bad because I have now my Dusknoir that I can align against it. Jellicent is currently in such a hype in this meta because it's just so broken. Like, it's such a broken Pokemon. It was already very, very overpowered in the open Ultra League previously, and now it's just going to be even stronger. But as you're going to see here as well, we are going to be able to, go ahead, farm them down, shield up a Surf, which is super necessary that they went for Surf. They get to Surf and Shadow Ball at the same time, so there was absolutely zero reason for them to go for that. But it doesn't really matter. Meteor Mash coming in here. We are going to see here the Empoleon now at the back, and this is going to be a bit awkward, but I think it's still going to be alright. We have our Annihilate that can stop in now, and because they're not Shadow, I'm fairly certain we can still survive a Drill Peck, which is a non-stab move. It's a strong move, it's super effective, but it's not enough to knock us out. And so we can still go for the boosting move here with the Rage Fist, and we're just generally gonna get the opponent super, super low here, so that is going to be fine. As we're gonna have now in the back the Clefable, and we have enough space here, and this is going to be the second win for the Shadow team. And now we have to see if at least the non-Shadow team can get one back here. So far, so alright with our lead. We're going to have the Gaston against us, and we have some alright matchup here with our non-Shadow Walrein. As we will see, the opponent is going to swap out of here into the Credillium and have a good answer as well. I have the Annihilate. I tried to get to do my move in time, but I was a bit too late, I guess, against the opponent, which is a bit awkward. But it is what it is here as well. We are going to be able to now go for, a shield and just farm them, I guess, is what I'm going to do. Should have maybe tried to go for an Ice Punch. I think Ice Punch would have done enough damage there. Could have avoided using that shield, but now I have 100 energy here. I can go for the Ice Punch spam, and honestly, I'm in a very solid position here. I'm in a very, very solid position. I know the entire team from the opponent. I know that Walrein is going to have some great time here now, doing some nice Ice-type damage. And we are going to be in an alright spot because Gaston as well is okay against every single Pokemon that we have here. Here we have super effective fast move pressure. Here Gaston comes back in. Unless they have Earth Power somehow, they're going to have no damage against us. They have Body Slam, which is totally okay. And we can go for the Icicle Spear spam here now, which should allow us, in theory, to just win this battle here very quickly. As we get the opponent super low, I can even catch a potential Body Slam here onto my Ghost type, which I thought would be funny. It's a Water Pulse, weirdly enough. And we have now Togekiss against us, where we have still 3 Pokemon left. I get the move off here, and I think Annihilate still has even a charge move start. So there's nothing the opponent can do in order to win this battle. And it's perfect. Like, this is perfect because now it's 2-1. Still, we have the potential for the non-Shadow team to even overtake the Shadow team here in this video. But we have to see on how things gonna go. As you're gonna see as well, we're gonna be able to knock them out, and we go back to the Shadow team here. So far, 2-1 for the Shadow team. Let's see if we're going to be able to... Actually, if the Shadow team wins this one here, they're actually going to guarantee at least have a draw at the end. So that's going to be something already. And it looks not that bad for the Shadow team, because as we see here, we're going to have a very neutral scenario for ourselves. That's not going to be too bad. Like, it's definitely a winnable matchup. generally. Like, it's not a matchup that is going to be very bad for us. And so I'm quite content with what I'm seeing, as we have the Shadow Punch coming through against the opponent's Togekiss. And they're very likely going to use a shield here, I assume, as they want to keep alignment, and that is fine. But I am going to be able to just let the move go and get some energy on the wall right now, which is perfect. Like, Warren is going to enjoy the energy quite a bit. We try to go for the full farm down, and we can go there in time before they even get to another charge move, which is perfect. As the opponent comes in, now we can go for the Earthquake and kind of threaten the opponent without any worries. And this is allowing me now to get the KO as well. Final Pokemon is going to be a Florges, which is honestly a bit more tougher than I expected, because now, like, Florges, we should be able to win here, right? Like, Trailways comes through, it doesn't do enough damage to knock us out in any kind of way. I should be kind of fine here winning this one. As we see, I stay in. I'm going to go and swap out now with the Icicle Sphere, and I try to catch the move here onto my Annihilate, thinking that I should be able to still reach another move in time, and I will be able to do that. And now, I, for whatever reason, decided to no-shield. I have no idea why. I thought I would still survive the hit. I should have won this battle. If I just shielded, I would have won immediately. I don't know why I didn't do that. That is my fault. The Shadow team should have been 3-1, but still 2-1. This is, like, absolutely my fault. Yeah, so this is an opportunity now for the non-Shadow team to kind of catch up and see on how things gonna go. It's gonna be a bit awkward because, again, I would count at the end an extra win towards the Shadow team. This was absolutely my fault at the end of the game. There was nothing that there was no way they would have been able to win the battle unless I, no shield there for whatever reason. I thought I would still survive the hit, by the way. This was my reasoning for it, but this was just not the case. So yeah, that was a big mistake by me, and I take the blame for that. That is not the team itself. Yeah, generally speaking, this is something that is a bit awkward because, yeah, of course, like, I just take the first set that I do with those teams because otherwise, that makes zero sense to compare those if I don't do that. So you see every single battle that I did with those teams, and I always go for the first set that I would do with those teams here as well. I'm not trying to change things around or trying to do, like, all the best set that I can get in a day or whatever. That makes no sense in terms of comparison. Like, that just really doesn't help anyone. So, yeah, it's a bit awkward because I have to have lead stuff in like this as well, where I could have definitely won this one. But at the end of the day, it was technically a loss, but it should have been a win. Anyway, we're going to have your Warren against a Registeel, and I'm going to try my best here now to, we still survive this. The non-Shadow Warren actually going to be able to survive that, which is fine. And with the opponents for Relegator coming in here, I see that I definitely still have to go for at least an Earthquake against them. I have to go for a bit of energy advantage still against them as well because they still have the Registeel. And now it depends, can we outspeed the opponent here? Let's find out. We're going to have the Registeel coming in. Can we still get there in time? We can, and this should be enough to knock them out. And so it's 2-2 at the final two battles, like one each still. Again, Shadow should have been winning, but let's take a look here at the next one. Kyurem against us. Kyurem against the Walrein. This is an interesting matchup because we resist the main damaging move from the opponent, which is going to be that Glaciate, and we can go for the Icicle Spear immediately, but the opponent caught it onto the Empoleon, which is smart. It's a very good play, and I can just shield and farm them down though. Like, that is the thing here, I can just shield farm them down. I know that my Annihilate has a lot of play against the Kyurem, and if they show their final Pokemon, I'm going to be able to just sweep with the Annihilate. But let's see what they're going to have here in the back. This is going to be the Kyurem coming in. I still survive a hit. It's only Glaciate. I'm not too worried about it yet. Glaciate is coming through, and I can just swap out here, hopefully. No, it's going to be the Typhlosion coming in. That's a bit annoying. Typhlosion is the strong Pokemon. They're going to let the move go, but I can go to my Duskdoor now, and then go for the full farm. Now, as I get the free fast move in here, I know if I shield, I should be able to even go for 2 Shadow Punches against the opponent's Kyurem. I still have energy on my on my Annihilate, and so I should be in a very good position. I should be in a position where I can only win, and this is going to be the case here as well. So it should have been a 4-1 just for the Shadow team alone, like the 5 builds on the Shadow team, but we only won 3 now at the end because, yeah, I can tell you this game is going to be over. There is absolutely nothing the opponent can do unless I play this bad, which I don't. Here, it's the right play to go into the Walrein because I pressure them early with a charge move potentially. They have to go for a Draco Median to actually knock me out. Dragon Claw is not enough, and with that I can just win this battle straight away. So yeah, I won. I should have won 4 games out of the 5 with a Shadow team. Now to the non-Shadow team. Virizion in the lead is bad. It's just generally bad. It's not a good lead for me at all. I I'm going to try to play it out a little bit. I do think I have a potential to actually win it in the 2 shields maybe, but this up onto the Ampharos. I don't know why Ampharos is literally everywhere currently. This Pokemon takes over the entire Ultra League meta, which is kind of crazy, and that's kind of unfortunate as well. So, I think now where we are at the final battle, again, thanks so much for watching until this point. I kind of want to conclude everything that we kind of have here. I feel like the non-shadow team kind of got destroyed by the teams that I encountered. I think both of the times, especially in the beginning of those, it's by the way everything in order as well, like the first battles and the second battle. It's like always kind of the first and the second battle I did with the team as well. I ordered all of the kind of different battles. I felt like I had a very tough time in the beginning. But I do think that this team actually has a lot of potential. I think this team is really good. What is better, Shadow or non-Shadow? Based on the results, absolutely the Shadow version is better. And what I can say is, I feel like that is also the case. It really depends on when Shadows are useful. I feel like non-Shadow Warren is quite solid because you have a bit more extra bulk, which can help out in some matchups. But Shadow Warren is also cool with the fast move pressure and the charge move pressure. For Annihilate and for Dusknoir, I do think that the Shadow version is just straight up better. And that is kind of unfortunate for, yeah, those Pokemon that I've built here. I don't think I will ever really use those unless they're Shadow, because they're just not as great. And so I think the Shadow version is definitely better. Let me know down below what you think. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And let me know down below again as well, what do you want to see next. Bye bye.